How to beat a dry spell in your real estate wholesaling business. That's the topic of today's video. Now, before I jump right into it, my name is Todd Toback, and I've wholesaled a little bit more than 1,000 houses, and 95% of those were locked up by somebody on my team and not by me personally. Now, if this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, please head on over to nextlevelwholesaling.com. I've got a special tool there for you. It's called the Next Level Wholesaling Business Assessment, and it's going to basically have you quiz yourself and rate yourself in the 4 core areas of your business. That's marketing, acquisition, disposition, and cash flow accounting. And today's video is really going to touch on that cash flow standpoint. So make sure you go there, take the assessment. It's going to spit out a score so that you can actually create a roadmap to get to where you're trying to go. And that is to extract yourself out of your business and own an asset that's going to throw off cash month after month after month without your day-to-day involvement. That is my specialty and my wish for you by watching these videos and learning from people in the Next Level Wholesaling community. So today's question, by the way, was sent in by one of our viewers. And by the way, keep sending those questions in. Maybe leave them in the comments below on YouTube or on Facebook. Glad you're watching. But there's a 3-step process here. Okay, whenever you hit a dry spell, there's going to be a 3-step process that's going to work almost every time. And so the most important thing when you hit a dry spell is to control your emotions. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Control your emotions. A lot of times when we have our businesses and all of a sudden we don't do deals for a while, guess what? You start to see the bank account maybe go down if you're not that established, and you start to panic, right? And you start to tell yourself a story. It's the market. I'm no good. My employees suck. I suck. I'm going to be homeless in the street, right? You start to tell yourselves these stories, right? And panic. And believe me, I've been there. And so as you get more mature and as you get strong and as you surround yourself with other lions, right, you learn to put these stories behind you, right? You learn to control your emotion because they're a lie. They're a lie. So that being said, first, stop the drama, right? You're not going to be homeless next week. You're not going to be on the street. You're not going to be out of business, right? Control your emotions. Number 2 is that we want to make sure that we tell ourselves the truth, right? You want to be a truth seeker. So we're not going to base our reactions on gut feel. Very rarely does a dry spell occur from no doing of our own. All right, I'm going to say that again. Very rarely does a dry spell occur from no doing of our own. So what do we have to do? Okay, step 2 is diagnose. Okay, you want to create a diagnosis of your challenge, right? And so don't look at what you did yesterday as a dry spell for today, right? Your dry spell is occurring from stuff that happened 30, 60, and 90 days ago. So here are some things that when I've had dry spells in my business, I take a look and say, what caused this? Well, number 1, did you stop marketing 90 days ago? Did you take a break? Were you inconsistent, right? Did you change a marketing channel? Did you change a postcard? So all the things associated with marketing, you have to take a peek at that. Number 2, did I change something about my conversion process, right? Did I maybe switch to an answering service? Was I a little lax about getting back to people? Did I stop making offers? And by the way, when I say did I mean you or your team. Now, if you're watching this video, hopefully it's your team, right? But a lot of this stuff happens because you're a one-man show and you're trying to answer the phone, you're trying to get back to people, and you don't, right? And that's because you don't have a team. And all of a sudden you start to see conversions go down because you're not doing the job that you're supposed to do as the head of acquisitions in your company. Now, it's not your fault, right? It's just that you're undermanned, right? So it's kind of like, what's the chicken or the egg? Do I hire or do I get stable? Well, a lot of times you need to hire so that you can get stable. I know that's counterintuitive too many people. But take a look at that, right? Did you suffer? Did you stop making offers? Did you stop following up? Were you not getting in front of people? Was your head not in the game, right? Were you just tired of answering the phone? So you really, really, really want to take a look at that. Diagnose. Number 3, maybe you did hire somebody, right? And so you're not converting because you spent some time training, right? Maybe you were distracted. Maybe you were looking at a new marketing channel or a shiny object or a new strategy. I can tell you that if you add a new strategy and you lose focus, your conversions will go down. But you have to diagnose this. Look for the changes. See what happened. What happened to the call activity? How many offers went out? How many appointments did you go on? And then if it's not you, if it's your team, look at that for your team. I guarantee you the truth lies in the number. So remove the drama, remove the story, just find out the facts. All right. Now 3 is execute. Figure out what the problem is. So the person who sent out this question, ironically, he listed a bunch of deals that he was working on that didn't close, and I think that's getting too granular. Right? I think that's getting too granular. It was, told the story of 3 people who didn't close, who weren't ready to close. And I think part of that is A, not panicking, 2, really diagnosing what the situation is. And then 3, if you do have the hot leads, which I'm going to recommend, the last part of this is diagnose the problem and execute. How do you execute? Well, if you stop marketing, make sure you're consistently on a marketing schedule and have somebody doing that. If it's conversion, if someone wasn't getting back to leads, make sure you're holding people accountable, right? And make sure that you're having someone look at that. Inspect what you expect. Now, if you do this over a period of time, you're going to see your acquisition stabilize, right? Ironically, between the time that I got the question that says, Todd, how do I break out of this dry spell? I've got these 3 deals that I'm working on. I was going to say, drop the emotion, let's diagnose, find out what you can close, and close it. I got another email that said, hey, Todd, I closed one of the deals, right? Hopefully that's going to be a large deal. It's going to hit your cash flow. Now you must work in the consistency, okay? Work in the consistency, the marketing, the sales, the acquisition, the offer, the habits that will generate revenue for you. So I'm going to review this. By the way, make sure if you're just tuning in, head on over to nextlevelwholesaling.com, take the assessment. A lot of the things that you will see in the assessment, from marketing, from acquisition to disposition, you will see where you are dropping the ball here, right? Which can cause a lack of deal flow. How to score yourself, you'll see that on the score from the assessment that you take, and it'll let you know where you need to get more consistent. This is a very simple business. And if you would do a lot of things consistently, you're going to win. And you're going to be able to scale, and you're going to be able to hire people, and then you're going to be able to extract yourself out of this business and have a cash machine that's going to throw off cash month after month after month for you. Okay, so the last part of this is execute. All right, I'm going to review this whole thing. Number 1, keep your emotions in check. Don't tell yourself a story. Don't go by gut. Tell what the data is, which leads into number 2, diagnose the problem. Get the facts. Know the truth. 3, execute, right? Now that you know what you did or didn't do, or what the problem was, or you had a distraction, or you weren't doing something that you were supposed to be doing, right? Make it a habit. Make it happen. If you don't want to do it, if you're procrastinating, fine. That's okay. You're probably procrastinating because you're not good at it. That's okay. Get somebody else to do it, stabilize, and then over time, right, all these habits are going to really stabilize the deals and the cash flow. Very, 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 very important. And that goes back to closing. You see that thing right there, that sign behind me? It says the big mo, okay, the big momentum. And when you get these habits that are performed over time, consistently, without gaps, that's when you're going to start to see some real stability. One last thing, if you're hiring and training and you're doing things, guess what? You're going to see a little dip, right? These people aren't as good as you yet. but eventually they will be better. And I promise you, it's worth it. You got to go through short-term pain for long-term gain. And when you do that, you're going to grow. I promise you. Talk to you soon. Thanks for the vid.